Hello everyone, welcome back to another tutorial for Blenderbits. Today we're going to be going over rigid body physics. So the first thing we want to do is make sure we have an object in the scene that we can apply our physics to. So the first thing I'm going to do is hit Shift A to add in an object and click on our cube. Now, using the key commands that we learned in the last episode, we're going to want to hit G for movement and then Z to move it up on the Z axis. Now that you have that, you can hit Shift A to add another object, and let's add in a plane. And now we're going to hit S to scale it, and then just drag this outwards. Now that we have this, the plane here, which is selected, is going to be an immovable object that our cube is going to bounce off of, and then our cube is going to be the object that is moving around in our scene. So let's add some physics to our cube. You're going to want to come over to this panel right here, which is our physics properties panel, and click on it. Click on rigid body, and then right here, everything is set up the way that we'd want it right now. Convex hull will work for this physics simulation. If you want, you can change the kilogram amount to whatever you want. For some reason, I usually just go to 2 as a default. That seems to work well for me. One last thing, right here where it shows dynamic, that means that it's going to be moving around. Now let's come over to our plane and give it rigid body. It's still in that panel, and give it a higher kilogram amount. From what I've learned, I'm pretty sure that the higher your weight is, the more solid your object is to a certain amount. So if you have an immovable object, I suggest increasing the rate if it seems, or sorry, not the rate, the weight, if it seems that your object is passing through it. Then you're going to want to deselect the dynamic option there, and then if we go down to here, we can hit play, and in real time it'll render, or not render, but it'll bake our physics, and you can see it's there now. So I'm going to hit pause and drag back to the start, and now I'm going to rotate our cube to give it something a little bit of interest in our scene. And now if you see, if we hit play, it now works as a rigid body. What we can start to do is add more interesting things. For instance, I can hit Shift D to duplicate it, and then move our object up on the Z axis and add another one in, and you'll see they start to interact with each other as rigid bodies. So that should do it for today's tutorial on rigid bodies. I hope you learned something, and if you have, that's great. Have a wonderful day.